everybody to Winchester here early this morning on a Sunday morning for this boys varsity soccer varsity matchup between the Arlington Spy Ponders and the Winchester Sachems. My name is Nick Antonakis. I am from ACMI Arlington Community Media Inc. and I'm lucky enough to be here thanks to WinCam. So a big thank you to them for letting me come out to this game to call the action between two very outstanding teams. And obviously this is a huge matchup between the two in contention for the division title. The Spy Ponders stand on the year, getting the win against Winchester last week at 2-1-2 on the year, 2 wins, 1 loss, and 2 ties on the year. While the Sachems suffered their first loss last game against the Spy Ponders and now stand at a record of 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. So obviously, in supremacy for the division, this is a huge game. The Spy Ponders proved to still be in the contention for the division title last week in a must-win case scenario against the Sachems. And as somebody who watched the Spy Ponders all year long, both last year and this year, especially this year, this was their best game of this season so far against Winchester last week. Spy Ponders were clicking on all cylinders. Offense was rolling as always. Defense really stepped up and Woodrick was playing outstanding in net. But, you can't count out the Sachems. They're a very competitive team, possibly one of the most consistent teams in the entire division. Last year, obviously, getting that state championship title in their name for the first time in 20-somewhat years. So this Winchester team is dangerous. They're coming off a championship. They're not done, and they're looking to tie up the season series against the Spy Ponders at 1 apiece. So huge game not only for the Sachems, but for the Spy Ponders as well. Although last week was a must-win scenario for the Spy Ponders, I would definitely not say that this one isn't, because, they're still a couple of games behind not only the Sachems, but also the Lexington Minutemen, who have been outstanding so far this year. So every game matters, as this is nearing the end of the season here, almost to that final stretch. So if you're the Spy Ponders, you're going to want to get another W here today, and at least a tie. You cannot afford a loss in a game like this. So now, we are here early on this Sunday morning after the game got postponed yesterday. Thank you to the crazy weather we had on Friday. A bunch of snow, 4 inches of snow Friday, all day Friday and into Friday night, forced us to postpone the game from Saturday morning on Halloween to today, November 1st, on Sunday morning. So now coming to midfield for all our Spy Ponders fans out there watching, you know him as Ryan O'Rourke. He's been an outstanding striker for the Spy Ponders so far this year. With 2 goals so far in the year, O'Rourke has been outstanding, and he looks to help with the offensive side of things and defensive side of things today against the Sachems. So the Spy Ponders will start with the ball here to kick off the first quarter of action. And a must-win situation for both squads. The Sachems seem ready, the Spy Ponders as well. And here we go. Sent back to Jan Pilya, the senior captain for the Spy Ponders. Diego Barrientos gets it on the back end, sends it all the way back to keeper Eric Woodrick. And he's forced to get rid of it. Kicks it out of bounds. An extreme amount of pressure there by the Sachems to start things off here today. So the Sachems will get the inbound kick. And he's going to have to go hunt after the ball there in the stands. But, the Sachems applying an extreme amount of pressure early on here today, forcing Woodrick to get that ball out of bounds. And number 5 for the Winchester boys, Alexander Bowers, who was outstanding not only last game against the Spy Ponders, but all season long for the Sachems. They get it inside the box, sent back to the point, shot taken, and it's blocked in front and sent outside. That was number 9, John Blumsack, who my play-by-play commentator, who I'm usually with ACMI, Ken Colbert, had a lot to say about Mr. Blumsack last week, an outstanding player for the Winchester Sachems. So Winchester taking the tilt early as the Spy Ponders get a cold kick sent out to Pilya on the far right side. Back to Barrientos once again. He tries to get rid of it, but the Sachems are all over him. Zeke Burton's there in the middle, and he's sending far wide Nice hustle there. Now taking it in, he has it in the box. Takes a shot, they score! Look at that! Early push by the Spy Ponders, turning things around so quickly. And they take a 1-goal lead here, early on. That was number 15, Anand Olstad, who had netted the goal for the Spy Ponders, getting his first goal of the year so far. An outstanding play by the Spy Ponders, all started with Zeke Burden in the middle. Nice send up to Olstad there on the far point. And the Spy Ponders, who started off on a low note there, with the Sachems applying a ton of pressure, have already taken the lead here 1-0. Outstanding play there by Zeke Burden and Anand Olstad. Two guys have been dominating in the midfield so far this year, and Olstad now contributing offensively to give the Spy Ponders a 1-goal lead. Now going back the other way, that's Blumsack. He has room. He's onside. Oh, and Widrick steps up on the play. Widrick tries to cover up, the ball still loose. Oh, what a save by Widrick. Early action here so far, and the Sachems are right back applying pressure. Outstanding play by the Spy Ponders on the defensive end. They almost fell apart there, I will be honest, but Widrick bought them out. Not once, but twice with the initial save, and then the diving save afterwards. Now, the Sachems not going to waste any time trying to get the pressure right back on the Spy Ponders. There's Ryan O'Rourke, the senior captain, stepping back, ball sent into the box, and Widrick's there. Outstanding play by Eric Widrick, and there's energy coming off the Sachems after giving up that first goal. They're obviously frustrated with it. Widrick's going to send that out to the goal scorer today, Anand Olstad. He tries to send it in the middle to Zeke Burden, but they lose it, but he gets it back. Now sending it up the far right side to Ryan O'Rourke. O'Rourke tries to get it, but the Sachems regain possession there on the far side. Ball's taken away in the middle. Nice step up by Barnabas Kiss, who's been outstanding for the Spy Ponders on the defensive end so far this year. And now Arlington applying some pressure again. Anand Olstad sends it back to Ryan O'Rourke, to Zeke Burden. He steps back. Nice patience. Gets it to Diego Barrientos. Nice step up by Diego on the far side. Diego in the corner tries to cross it in. Nice block. That's Blumsack again. And now Blumsack tries to send it up the middle. Tate Kochin's there for the step up. And he tries to send it back to Olstad on the far side. Good pressure there by number 7, Diego Diaz Tijanera, for the Sachems, a senior captain for the Winchester Sachems. And now the ball goes out of bounds. It will be Spy Ponders' ball. We are already up 1-0 here in this early contest as the Sachems take an early deficit to the Spy Ponders, but the Sachems come firing right back. They're nowhere near done in this one. No loss of motivation at all. If anything, they gained some motivation on that, applying some pressure, but a nice play by Widrick early on to make that save earlier. Diego Barrientos, nice kick on the run. Sent out of bounds. That's Toby Witzkowski who touched it last, the senior for the Spy Ponders. And it's sent out of bounds. It'll be Winchester ball. So 5 minutes in here, we've already had a lot of action between both the Spy Ponders and the Sachems. It's been outstanding action between the two teams early on. Spy Ponders lead 1-0, and Blumsack has the ball go out of bounds there. The Spy Ponders will take it, sent up in the middle to Ryan O'Rourke. He has some room. O'Rourke goes back with it. Nice ball control by O'Rourke, but he's double teamed there. But it's sent up. Zeke Burden now to O'Rourke. O'Rourke with some room in the middle. He tries to send it to Olstad on the far right side, but it's blocked. Now into the box. Nice containment, and Winchester sends it outside. And that'll be Arlington ball. And now Olstad going to take it in for the Spy Ponders. Off that kicking in. Obviously, it's some cold weather here for early November, late October. A lot of snow, but now it's crossed into the middle. Aiden Sheehan, the sophomore, gets a shot off, and it goes wide and now trickles. Nice hustle there by Toby Witzkowski trying to keep the play alive. He does. Keeps it in. Nice job by Toby Witzkowski. He kicks it off the Winchester defender. And it will be Winchester ball, actually. And then on the back end, that was number 5, Alexander Bowers, for the Winchester Sachems, applying some nice pressure to the ever-so-speedy Toby Witzkowski, who leads the team, the Spy Ponders, with goals this year with 3, netting 2 against the Winchester Sachems last week, having a breakout game for Witkowski this year. Now it's turned over in the middle. Jan Pilja tries to send it up to Olstead once again. He was looking for a work, but a little bit of miscommunication. It's taken back. Bowers sends it to Dylan Ross, the senior captain. That's a Henry Wasserman, the freshman, for this Sachem's team. But Pilja takes it away in the middle, sends it to O'Rourke. O'Rourke looking for Olstead once again on that right side. Olstead applying some good pressure there in the middle and keeps the play alive. Olstead double teamed. He's going to look for the cross here. But nice containment by the Winchester defense, not trying to let something happen like they did in the first play of the game. And now the ball is sent into the air. Aiden Sheehan tries to chase after it. Number 7, Diaz Tijanera with a nice kick. And Barnabas Kiss there sends it back to Eric Widrick. Widrick over to Barrientos. And the Spy Ponders are going to look to apply some more pressure on the Sachems. But they take their time with it. Pass it back to Zeke Burden. Nice control there by the Spy Ponders. And ball gets through. Olstead again with some space on that side. In the middle, takes a shot. He scores! Olstead with the second of the game. And now the Spy Ponders are up 2. No mercy from Arlington here as they keep applying the pressure. Again starts with Zeke Burden in the midfield, and it seems that Zeke and Anand are having a connection today as the Spy Ponders go up 2-0. They're not messing around. They know they need to win every game so far this year, and up to this point until the end of the season if they want to win this division. And beating a tough team in Winchester will be a huge push in doing that. But still, in an extremely amount of time left in this game, still 3 quarters and a half left in the game. So plenty of time for the Sachems and the Vinny Musto-led Sachems to try and get back into this one. Oh, and it's sent into the box. Tate Kochian tries to clear it. Goes off of Winchester's shoulder. And it'll be a goal kick for the Spy Ponders. So almost 9 minutes in here today. And the Sachems suffering 2 goals here in the first 9 minutes against the Spy Ponders. Spy Ponders, both Anand Olstead, stepping up big here today. He's motivated to get it done in this big game for the Spy Ponders. And that's not 1, but 2 to give the Spy Ponders a 2-0 lead here early. But if you're the Sachems, you're going to want to get some offensive pressure on. Arlington's been controlling the ball a lot in the midfield so far. Pilja and Zeke Burden have been doing outstanding so far in the midfield here today. And now it's called too much contact there by Winchester. It'll be Arlington ball. So yeah, if Winchester can win the midfield like they did on that first possession of the game and that third possession of the game actually, where they had those outstanding opportunities up on Widrick's end, they can really be dangerous because Widrick almost had that goal. If it wasn't for Eric Widrick making that outstanding play in the defense, really containing that Winchester offense, that might have been in the back of the net. We would have been half the score where we are now, but nice play by Tate Kochian. Send it out of bounds. A junior captain for the Spy Ponders. First time in a while, and first time in my tenure of watching the Spy Ponders, both last year and this year, that they've had a junior captain. So, huge honor for Tate. As now number 5, Alexander Bowers, is going to kick it in for the Sachems. Sent into the box. Nice play by Tate Kochian, steps up and blocks it. Diego Barrientos now sends it to Burden in the middle, trying to get it to Olstead. Olstead looking for a hat-trick early on today. We're not even out of the first quarter, and he's already looking for a hat-trick. Sent to Zeke Burden, stepping up on that far right side, tries to send it to Pilja in the middle. Jan Pilja sends it back to Zeke. Zeke Burden back to Olstead, looking for Witkowski on the left side, and a nice step up and takeaway there by the Winchester goaltender. So the Spy Ponders lead 2-0. The referee, never mind. I don't know what the referee was doing there. But it's called back as now Ryan O'Rourke looks to apply some pressure. Oh, wipe out there on the far side, but Winchester keeps possession in the middle. That's number 10, Jonathan D. Oliveira, who's been outstanding for the Sachems so far this year. Looking to get him involved in the offense. Sent into the middle. That's Ben Von Hale, senior captain. Now trying to get it to Bowers on the far side, but it's taken away by the Spy Ponders. Winchester wins it back. Blumsack, nice takeaway there by Sheehan, tries to keep it in bounds. Trickles alongside the line. And they win it. It will be Arlington ball. Nice play there by Aiden Sheehan defensively to win Arlington the ball. The sophomore sensation for the Spy Ponders, who really broke out last year in that playoff game against Beaumont, landing the game-tying goal. So Sheehan looking to get involved more today as he nice spin move there by Sheehan, sent it to Witzkowski out on the far left side. Witzkowski gonna look to cross. Tries to send it in the middle, but it's blocked out. O'Rourke regains possession, tries to send it back to Zeke Burden. Taken away by Winchester, but Pilya applies some good pressure. Keeps the play alive. And again, Pilya takes a shot. Oh, it's covered up. Oh, doesn't control the rebound super well there, but he does get on top of it. But it could have been much worse if there were some more Spy Ponders in the box, but Sachem's going back the other way now. Pilya again takes it away in the middle. Arlington dominating the midfield so far here early, and really moving the ball around in the offensive third, which they really didn't do against Lexington, and then really implemented into their game last week against Winchester, which I think is one of the big reasons why they got the W and why they're leading so far here early. Zeke Burden takes a shot and it goes wide. Zeke looking for his first goal of the year. Ken was very excited, trying to get Zeke his first goal of the year last week. He had a couple opportunities, but unfortunately did not win. But he's been assisting non-stop here today, still racking up points. 2 lob passes to Olstead there on the far right side, and Olstead's netted both goals for the Spy Ponders so far today. Now again, the Spy Ponders winning it in the offensive third, but it's a nice takeaway there by Winchester, looking to go back the other way. Nishad Vignac gets a foot on it, but Winchester regains possession, now cutting into the middle. Tijanera sends it back to the outside. He has some space. Let's take a shot, but a nice play by Barnabas Kiss. Nice defensive play, and now Olstead there tries to send it up the far side, but Winchester regains possession. They're going to look to re-enter Spy Ponders third of the field. But the ball goes out of bounds, and Arlington will be making a substitution now. I think that's Noah Sweeter, the senior for the Spy Ponders, who's going to be coming into the game. And all year we've seen that Noah Sweeter has been a spark plug here for the Spy Ponders. An outstanding player. And he's going to look to keep the offense flowing for the Spy Ponders. Sent into the box. Nice play there by Tate Cochin, clears it out. O'Rourke coming back to get it. Taken away by Winchester. Now sent on the far side. Stepping up. Taken back by Blumsack. Tries to make a move, keeps the ball in bounds. Nice pressure there by Toby Witzkowski defensively. Forces the ball out of bounds, and the Winchester Sachems will get it. And there's Bowers. He's going to take the inbound kick for the Sachems. And this is where we saw that dangerous opportunity before, so the Sachems are going to repeat what they did last time. Oliveira sends it into the middle. Too much contact in the box, and they're going to call it back. A freebie for the Spy Ponders. And Widrick will take it. Boots it all the way downfield. O'Rourke's there to fetch it. But a nice play by Winchester, trying to get the ball out. Oliveira sends it far to Wasserman, Henry Wasserman. Now Winchester are going to take some time of their own in their offensive third of the field. And now it's sent up. O'Rourke gets it back. He tries to apply some pressure on the ball, but it's sent out of bounds by Andrew Bowers, brother of Alexander Bowers. So Bowers' brothers making an impact here early defensively, as Aiden Sheehan will go to the bench of the Spy Ponders. A good first shift by Sheehan, and the spark plug Noah Sweeter will come into the game. So Arlington ball will have a kick in bounds. 4 minutes and 28 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Arlington leads 2-0. Winchester obviously turning the game around in the midfield now as we went into the second half of this first quarter. Really trying to fight back in that midfield and regain possession and get some offensive opportunities of their own. So nice plays there by Winchester. And now taking it back the other way against some room. And a nice step up by Eric Widrick to send it all the way back the other way. Number 16, Andrew Bowers, takes the touch. He was hoping to keep that one in bounds, but unfortunately deflects off the shin pad, and and goes out of bounds. It's going to be the Spy Ponders ball. Ritzkowski looks to send it to Sweeter, but that's covered up. Now the Sachems, obviously, like I was saying before, trying to regain possession in that midfield, and they've been doing that so far, and we've seen a lot less offensive opportunities from the Spy Ponders ever since that happened, so... Oh, but now a takeaway, maybe jinxing myself here, as Olstead looking for the hat trick. He tries to center it to Sweeter, and it goes out of bounds. A lot of pressure here from the Spy Ponders early on, and like I said, last week was a must-win scenario for the Spy Ponders, while the Sachems sat a little bit more comfortably up at the top of the division. Wow. Now, I think it's a must-win for both teams. Winchester does not want to take 2 back-to-back losses in a contending team for the division title, and the Spy Ponders, well, the Sachems, I would say, are probably one of the favorites. Sachems and Lexington both being favorites, and then Arlington in the contenders situation as the ball is sent into the box. Nice pick up there by Winchester. They're going to look to go back the other way pretty quickly. But anyway, Winchester obviously does not want to take 2 back-to-back losses here. They have some ground to make up, but they have plenty of time to do it, as the Spy Ponders lead 2-0. O'Rourke applying some good pressure there. Now Ritzkowski as well, pressuring number 5, Alexander Bowers, but it's taken away in the midfield again. This is a dangerous thing for the Spy Ponders like they've been doing all year. Nice step up by Nishad Vinyak on the back end. He takes his time with it, tries to send it in the middle. Sweeter's there, oh, and a nice grab. If there were headers allowed, that may have been a goal. Sweeter, I think, was looking to hit it with his head, but with the COVID rules, there are no headers allowed. So Winchester regains possession as we reach stoppage time here in the first quarter. Sends into the middle. Pilya, nice containment. Sends it to Zeke Burden. And then a nice step up there by Bowers. Sends it up in the middle. Ben Von Hale, senior captain, tries to send it up the far side, but Widrick's there to pick it up as Blumsack was chasing it down. Sent far outside, the goal scorer, Anand Olstead, with it. Tries to send it up to Nishad Vinyak, who steps up. And it will be Arlington ball. Substitution for Arlington. Zeke Burden goes out. And that is number 16 for the Spy Ponders, Sasha Sperling. We saw a little bit of him last game, trying to crop him into the lineup a little bit more here in last game and this game. Maybe a matchup thing that Coach Lance Iadzio saw in practice or on tape or something, but he's been doing well. And it'll be interesting to see more of him here today, see if he can make an impact offensively. Now, Winchester gives it up. That's O'Rourke. He makes a nice move, now steps into the box. He's surrounded by Winchester Sachems, and they finally take it away from him. Looks to go back the other way. Tijanera holds on to it, sends it back to Dylan Ross. Dylan Ross up the far side to Ben Von Hale. And now Sachems with numbers up in their offensive third. They're going to look to make a push, get a goal before the end of the first quarter, but Tade Kochian with a nice play gets it out to midfield, and Sweeter with a nice step up. Jukes around 2 Winchester Sachems, but now the Sachems regain possession. Wasserman pressured heavy there by Sperling, and now it's taken away by Olstead, but it's chipped out by number 13, Max Durand Morris. Oh, and I think last week we saw Max Durand Morris go down with an injury. We may have. I might be wrong, but if we did, I'm glad he's back and healthy this week. Now it's sent. O'Rourke looks to cross it in a little bit too much, as it was Ritzkowski looking for it on the far side. And that's the first quarter. Very entertaining, to say the least. The Spy Ponders capitalizing early. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes of the game, both from Anand Olstead, the senior for the Spy Ponders, netting his first 2 goals of the year to give the Spy Ponders a 2-0 lead. But the Sachems, do not count them out yet. We cannot count out the Winchester Sachems. They've been incredible all year. Last year's division champs. And, you know, they had some offensive opportunities early. Arlington doing a great job dominating the midfield so far here today. If they can keep that up, they may be able to come away with this one, but still plenty of time to play here in the contest. So Winchester obviously will go back to last week's game here at the intermission. Winchester did not play the game that they wanted to, or at least they did not expect the fire that was about to come out from the Spy Ponders that did happen last week. So Winchester suffered a 2-0 loss last week against the Spy Ponders. Spy Ponders handing them their first loss of the year. Toby Ritzkowski netted both goals for Arlington in that game, while Winchester was really, not that they were unable to get offensive opportunities, because they got a good amount, but Eric Widrick and the defense have been outstanding, and especially last game they really stepped up, and we're seeing that again here today. Both teams really stepping up. So, and obviously one of the biggest question marks for the Spy Ponders has to be, coming into the season, I mean, had to be their defense, because they lost 3 out of their 4 starters last year who were starting on the back end, and then their 5th defender, who would be a frequent sub coming into the game on that back end. They lost all of those guys. So only one starting defender from last year's squad is left on the team in Tade Kochian. But a whole new set of faces on the back end with Barnabas Kiss, Diego Barrientos, and Nishad Vinyak, and they have all done absolutely excellent so far this year. Really impressing me after the Arlington defense was really a staple in their gameplay last year, with stepping up on the ball and physical play in the box and everything like that. But you know, there was high expectations for this back end to step up, and they've done an absolutely outstanding job. And it's been very entertaining to watch the Spy Ponders on defense and offense so far this year. So kudos to the guys on the back end for really stepping up and doing their job. So the referees blow the whistle. We're going to come back here for second quarter action, excuse me. Well, my name is Nick Antonakis, this is Zuzabit, and I am from ACMI, and I'm lucky enough to be here today. Thank you to WinCam, Winchester Media. Thank you so much to them for allowing me to come today's coverage and cover the game. So extremely lucky to have this opportunity here today in an outstanding game between 2 outstanding teams, and really one that I didn't want to miss. And thanks to WinCam and ACMI, I'm lucky enough to be here for it. So Winchester will start with the ball here in the second half. Number 11, Ben Von Hale, the senior captain, his 4th year on the squad. Been on the squad since he was a freshman. So Ben Von Hale going to kick off here for the Winchester Sachems as they look to come back in this one down 2. Chipped up in the middle, and now Winchester looking to go back fast the other way. Oliveira tries to send it to Tijanera, tries to cross it into the middle. Diego Barrientos tries to clear it out, but the Sachems regain possession. They're going to take their time with it in the box. Blumsack, nice patience, sends it to the outside. They're going to look to cross it in. Nice pressure there by Ritzkowski, but the Sachems hang on to it. Back to Blumsack on the outside. Winchester having a tough time crossing in. Nice containment there by the Arlington defense. And Barrientos is taken down. They're going to get called for that. But the Sachems come flying out of the gates. That was a fast transition from midfield to offense. Good transition there by the Sachems, but a little bit better defense by the Spy Ponders to hold them off there on the outside. Sent back to now Eric Widrick. Pressure being applied on him. He gets away with it. Sends it up in the middle to Ryan O'Rourke. Now it's sent back to Anand Olstead. Chips it up. He's looking for Noah Sweeter there on the far side. Sweeter has room. Looks to cross it in. And O'Rourke regains possession. He has some room there. Takes a shot. Oh! And a diving opportunity there by the Winchester goaltender. But it was just wide of the left post. So O'Rourke with an early opportunity. Uh-oh. Is he shaken up? No, he's okay. Thank God. We do not need O'Rourke to go down now. Well, he seems a little bit shaken up, actually. Hopefully he's all right, but he's powering through it. He did take a hit there, trying to take the shot. Now Winchester looks to play possession in their own end. Sent up to Diaz Tijanera. He takes his time with it, looks to switch the fields. Plenty of room there for the Winchester defense to step up, and they do so, but now a nice takeaway by Witkowski in the middle. Looks to find O'Rourke there on the left side. Ryan O'Rourke with room and numbers coming back the other way. Takes a shot and a nice grab. Winchester looking to make some momentum off these nice saves. Diaz-Tijanera again with speed going up the far side. Nice hustle there by Sasha Sperling to stay with him. But he hangs on to it, sends it back to number 2, Brian Shen. Shen looks to make a play out of it. Now it's sent into the middle by Diaz-Tijanera. Back to Shen. Nice play by Sweeter, sends it out of bounds. Winchester now looking to apply some pressure. They're going to play the possession game. They're going to take their time with this one, and now a sub coming in for the Sachems. Blumsack takes a break, and incoming for the Sachems is number 12, Max Wasserman, the brother of freshman Henry Wasserman, who is making an impact off the bench last week. So Diaz-Tijanera back to Shen. Shen tries to take a shot, is blocked in the middle by Barnabas Kiss, sent out of bounds, and Winchester wins the ball again. Shen chips it in. Nice pressure there by Sweeter, but Dylan Ross keeps on to it. Again, still applying pressure. Sweeter's trying to contain him there defensively. Shen takes it. Tijanera back to Shen. But good containment by the defense. Nice takeaway there by Nishad Vignac. Now Ryan O'Rourke tries to go back the other way. And it's going to be a freebie for the Spy Ponders. Dangerous opportunities there. Winchester was looking to get it inside the box, but Arlington did a great job containing them, forcing them to stay in that left corner. And eventually it was just a matter of time before Nishad Vignac got to take it away. So a nice play by him. Long ball out to the far left side. That's Toby Witkowski. He looks to cross into the middle. Nice defensive play there, but it's going to be Arlington ball. Witkowski is going to take the inbound for the Spy Ponders as they lead here 2-0 in the second quarter. And referee's going to make him do it again. So Pilya into Witkowski. He crosses it in. Olstead regains possession. He's looking for the hat trick. Takes a shot and it goes over. Field goal is good, but no goal on the play, as Olstead was heavily pressured there by number 2, Brian Shen. And Olstead a little bit frustrated there, but he's been playing outstanding so far today. One of the MVPs for the Spy Ponders early on here today. Shen tries to send it into the middle. Oliveira sends it to Diaz-Tijanera. Now up the far side, that's Ben Von Hale with some room. Nice play by Barnabas Kiss, but Von Hale keeps on it. Oh, and a nice save by Eric Woodrick off Max Wasserman's deflection shot. Now the Spy Ponders going to look to transition back the other way quickly. Jan Pilya, the senior captain for the Spy Ponders, takes it on the far side. Toby Witkowski now. Back to Diego Barrientos. Plays called dead, and it's going to be a Spy Ponder ball. Oh no, it's going to be a Winchester ball. I didn't see the contact there, but referee's having a conversation with Toby Witkowski. Toby a little bit frustrated with that. So, but either way, it's going to be Winchester ball. With 13:55 remaining here in the second quarter. Winchester looking to get back into it and net a goal here on this possession. A freebie out from the 40-yard line. Sends one in. It's nicely contained there by Jan Pilya. Tries to send it up to O'Rourke, but it's won by Winchester in the midfield. Nice play by Sweeter. Oh, and the Spy Ponders almost got it back there, but the Sachems not giving up on the play yet. Pilya gets it back once again, sends it to O'Rourke. O'Rourke to Sweeter. Sweeter outside to Olstead, a little bit too far behind him, and Olstead's unable to get to that. Now it looks like on the far side, I think that's Zeke Burden and Evan Lee are going to be working their way back into the game. Zeke Burton working his way back, I should say, and Evan Lee making his first shift here in the game. A very speedy threat for the Spy Ponders and Evan Lee. So, oh, and I think Aiden Sheehan will be coming in for the Spy Ponders as well as he heads to midfield. But now Winchester regains possession and looks to take it back the other way. Now Winchester going to play the defensive game, the possession game, I should say. Excuse me. Then back to Jonathan D. Oliveira. Nice play by Barnabas Kiss, but still applies pressure there. Oh, and it's sent into the middle, but a little bit of miscommunication there. That was number 24, Dylan Ross. He's very experienced on the field, just thought somebody was there, he wasn't. And Widrick gets to cover that one up. Olstad now contains nicely, but Diaz Tijanera takes it away. He has room in the midfield. You don't want to leave him with room. Nice ball movement by Winchester, but good pressure by Arlington, forcing them back towards midfield. So much pressure by Arlington there, and now finally Sweeter gets to take it away. He's going to look to transition back the other way. Toby Witzkowski now with some room. Witzkowski sends it back to Olstad. Olstad over to Diego Barrientos. He jukes around a defender. Now tries to send it to Sweeter, but it goes out of bounds. Now Winchester, we're going to go back the other way. Again, going to play possession game in their own defensive end. They can't seem to find any windows in this Arlington defense right now. So they're searching for those by playing a little bit of a passive game in their own end. They don't want to make a stupid decision and give the ball up, trying to look for something, trying to force something. So, oh, but now it's taken away by Sweeter. He has O'Rourke on his left. Sends it to O'Rourke. O'Rourke with space. Tries to take a shot. Oh, and it goes off the outside of the net. Fools you every time when you see that net shake from the ball hitting it on the outside. So 3 subs come in for Arlington. Sheehan, Evan Lee, and Zeke Burden. Out goes Sasha Sperling, Noah Sweeter, and Toby Witzkowski. Go. Ball sent up. Nice play by Diego Barrientos. Tries to keep the play alive. Evan Lee with his first shift of the game. Chips that one, but it goes out of bounds. And it'll be Winchester ball. So a little bit of back and forth action now. We saw a lot of breakouts back and forth early on in the first quarter. Back and forth action offensively. But now both teams learning each other a little bit, calming down a little bit, trying to play that possession game, not look for as many stretch passes and opportunities back the other way. But a tight contest between the two. Although the score is 2-0, you can never count out the Sachems. Oh, now a turnover. Diaz Tijanera with some room back the other way. He has plenty. Nice hustle back by Olstad. Sticks with him. Nice play by Olstad. Forces him back again. Arlington's doing a great job of trying to force Winchester out of their offensive third. But they keep possession. They're going to again look for a window in this Arlington defense. Shen again tries to take it on that far side, but Nishad Vinyag contains him nicely. Winchester wins it back, however. Tries to send it into the middle again, and it's cleared out by Arlington. This left side, Winchester's really trying to capitalize on it, but they're unable to do so. Arlington's containing pretty well here and holding them back there on that left side between Shen and Diaz Tijanera especially, who have been trying to pressure from that left side. Now it's taken back in the middle. Ben Von Hale. He sends it back. Henry Wasserman takes his time with it. Back to Dylan Ross. Ross sends it over to Shen. Shen back to Ross. Again trying to play passive. Zeke Burden tries to clear. Nice play there by Pillia. He's going to look to stretch it back the other way. He's got Evan Lee in a little bit behind him. Winchester wins it back. D. Oliveira sends it to the left side, and now Arlington takes it away. Evan Lee tries to stretch it up to Ryan O'Rourke. Now it's sent back to the keeper. Winchester regains possession, but O'Rourke going to lurk around in the box there. Arlington looks to step up now and apply some pressure. Winchester, nice ball back the other way, sends it to Diaz Tijanera again. Oh, Tate Koshin takes a fall. He has room. Oh, nice step up by Widrick. Tate Koshin took a hard fall there in 11. Ben Von Hale, the senior captain for the Winchester Sachems, had a golden opportunity there. And I hope Tate Koshin's not shaking up. He was grabbing his knee a little bit, but that could have just been off impact. Hopefully he's all right. But he took a tough fall. And Winchester with a golden opportunity, but a nice step up there by Eric Widrick. Sent into the middle. It will be Winchester ball. 24, Dylan Ross is going to take it. With 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Before we reach halftime, Winchester's going to want to get a goal here early on. Or not early on, while they're down 2. Now it's sent back. D. Oliveira back to Shen. Back to D. Oliveira. Now he has some room. And nice play by Toby Witzkowski to get it out. They're attacking that left side. They haven't gotten it. I'm not surprised. I'm a little bit surprised that they haven't tried to approach the offense a different way, because they're getting shut down on that left side. Maybe they'll be able to get an opportunity here out of this corner kick. But again, it's from the left side. But corner kicks obviously are a different scenario. But that left side has been a problem, as Nishad Vignac has been playing one of his best games of the season. And Toby Witzkowski doing a great job getting back on the defensive end as well. Diaz Tijanera again on that left side, and then it's cleared out by Tate Koshin. And we see it there once again, unable to capitalize on that left side. But Winchester keeps pounding at it. They must see a weakness of somewhat. Maybe in Widrick. Maybe he's not as good taking shots from that left side, but who knows? Widrick has been solid all day here today. Made some outstanding plays. 2 subs for Winchester coming in. Number 6, Brendan Hurd. And coming back in, number 9, John Blumsack. Hurd now sends it in. Dylan Ross tries to send it up the far side to fresh off the bench John Blumsack, but Arlington's going to have the inbound kick.
Right there.
Sent back on the point. Now Aiden Sheehan takes it. Sheehan up on the far side. Taken away there, but now Winchester regains possession and it goes out of bounds. Ball sent out of bounds there. Now Winchester going to get a goal kick. With 4 minutes and 25 seconds remaining here in the contest. So Winchester obviously hasn't been able to get a lot of... they've had some possession in the offensive zone, but not as much as they would like, and not getting off as many shots as they thought they could. As the Arlington defense has been on its game today. Similar game to what they've been doing last week against Winchester. Everybody's just really stepping up so far today. Barnabas Kiss makes a nice play, and now Arlington regains possession going back the other way. Jan Pilya with some room back there in the midfield takes a shot from far out. Oh, and he has to dive for it there, but shot was going wide anyway. Nice shot there by Jan Pilya, as Noah Sweeter is going to work his way back into the game. O'Rourke will take a well-deserved break. Now Arlington's going to get the corner. And it's going to be Toby Witzkowski who's going to take it. Witzkowski tries to send it in, Almost possessed there by Evan Lee, but it's a nice takeaway. Now Blumsack goes back the other way. Nice takeaway by Zeke Burden. Burden to Sheehan. And too much contact there. Winchester's going to get called for it. Takeaway by Winchester in the midfield, sends it all the way back the other way. Diego Barrientos tries to contain it, but stepping up on the play there, number 4, Jonah Berry. First we've seen of him so far. And now it's sent out of bounds. And Winchester will have the inbound pass. Winchester takes the ball in now as we're in stoppage time here in the second quarter and the first half. This will be it for the first half after this one. We'll take a little bit of a break and we'll be back soon afterwards. But Widrick's going to throw it out there far side, looking for Evan Lee. But it's taken away by Winchester. They're looking to get one in the back of the net here before the end of the first. Blumsack. Double teamed there by Evan Lee, but a little bit too much contact. Referee is going to force that one back. And now Winchester going to get a golden opportunity here. They have a nice free kick from inside the 20-yard line. And Arlington going to give them room. They're going to clog the box. But you see there's a lane here right now. They're going to try and take a shot. Goes in. Widrick off the screen makes a nice grab. Nice opportunity there by the Winchester Sachems, but now going back the other way. Toby Ritzkowski, incredible amount of C by Toby. Makes a nice move, gets around one defender, looks to get it inside. Still holds possession, tries to cross into the middle, but it's sent out by Winchester. And now it's sent out of bounds. Arlington will get the possession there, as we are in stoppage time here of the second quarter, and it'll be halftime after this stoppage time. So Nishad Vignac back to Pilia. Pilia tries to send it to Zeke Burden, goes to Aiden Sheehan. Sheehan sends it to Barrientos down the far side, but it's kicked out of bounds by Max Wasserman. Zeke Burden now tries to send it up that left side, but it's taken away. Nice pressure there by Sweeter, looking to get an opportunity out of it. Now Zeke Burden sends it far side, but that'll do it for the half. Arlington leads 2-0 here at halftime. First 2 goals by the Spy Ponders, both by Senior and Anand Olstead in the first quarter. Ever since then, we've been deadlocked. Back and forth opportunities by both the Sachems and the Spy Ponders. As we'll head into the second half, Spy Ponders up 2. We'll be back soon with second half action. check, check, check 1, 2, check, 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 check 1, check 1, 2, check, check, check. Oh, alright, perfect. Alright, we are nearing second half action here between the Arlington Spy Ponders and the Winchester Sachems. Spy Ponders lead up by 2 here after the second quarter. And the Spy Ponders obviously looked outstanding there in the first 2 quarters of the game, while the Sachems have had a little bit of trouble trying to get back into it, but as the Arlington boys saluting me here up in the booth. But obviously a great game by them here in the first half, but the Sachems still plenty of time to get back into it, as we are only halfway through this contest. And the Sachems have been an extremely dangerous team all year, looking to avoid taking its second loss in a row, and its second loss to Arlington this season, but the Spy Ponders looking for the season sweep as they lead here 2-0. Anand Olstead netted both goals for the Spy Ponders there in the first half, netting them both in actually the first 10 minutes of the game. He was on fire there as he looks for the hat trick in this one, but the Spy Ponders now obviously looking to turn things into reality and come out with this win here after a hard-fought first half. But the Sachems, plenty of time to get back into it. They had some opportunities there in the second half, but it's going to be tough, for both teams. It's going to be a battle down to the wire. You can never count out Winchester, but, you can never underestimate Arlington to extend the lead even further than it is now. Both two outstanding teams and definitely contending for the division title. If the Spy Ponders are able to come out with the win here today, that's going to be a huge W for them, especially in the division race. I think, yes, they will. They will be tied with the Sachems, or even maybe leading the Sachems, because the Spy Ponders have 2 ties on the year, 1 loss on the year, and 2 wins on the year. If they win this, they'll hand Winchester their second loss. So the Spy Ponders will technically be able to pass the Sachems in the standings if they can get this win here today. So it looks like Ryan O'Rourke's going to be kicking it off for the Spy Ponders here to start off the second half. Witzkowski out there starting with him. We have Aiden Sheehan out there as well, Anand Olstead, Jan Pilya, Zeke Burden, and then on the back end, Nishad Vignac, Barnabas Kiss, Tade Kochan, Diego Barrientos, and then in between the net, we have Eric Woodrick. And then now for the Sachems, up there I can see up front, obviously back in the game, Diego Diaz-Tijanera, who was outstanding there in the first half. But now the Sachems going to look to get some more goals on the board. Even though they had opportunities, they need that scoreboard to change if they want to come out with the W here today. Spy Ponders start contact early. Olstead wasting no time. He's been firing right out of the gates here, both in the first half and the second half. We saw him net 2 goals in the beginning of the first half. It seems when he has energy, he can really apply it and get things done here in the game. We saw it from him in the first half, and now again from him in the second half. Here it is. Winchester going to play it passive. Sent all the way up to the side there, but goes out of bounds. Diego Barrientos will take the inbound kick for the Spy Ponders, and he plays it safe, sends it back to Tade Kochan, the junior captain here for the Arlington Spy Ponders. Sent back into the middle. O'Rourke tries to contain it, but a nice play there by number 13, Max Duran Morris. But he's called on that one, assessed a penalty there. Too much contact. Now the Spy Ponders will get a freebie from their 40. And I believe it's going to be Tade Kochan who's going to take it. Barrientos chips it off to him. Oh, he fakes it. Nice fake there, but he sends it far side. Looking for O'Rourke, but it's caught. and contained by Winchester. They roll out there, but Witkowski comes charging. But nice speed there. Now looking to take it back the other way. Oh, and a little bit too much there, but the Sachems regain possession in their own end. That's number 5, Alexander Bowers. Sends it over to Jonathan De Oliveira. De Oliveira to Blumsack. Now battling forward on the far side. Arlington looked to take it away there, but now it's sent all the way back the other way, chasing after it. Ben Von Hale, the senior captain here for the Winchester Sachems. And it will be a Winchester kick. Dangerous spot there for a Winchester kick there if you're Arlington, but the Sachems look to get back into this one. They're going to need a goal soon. They're down 2, but they still have time. But they would love to get a goal here on this possession. Taking their time with it out there on the far left side. Sent into the middle. Diaz Tijanera tries to get a shot off, but he's contained there by the Arlington defense. Sent back into the midfield. Winchester tries to contain. They still take it. Arlington bench sees the handball from a mile away. They all call it at the same time, and Arlington wins that one. They'll take a kick back the other way. Barnabas Kiss will take the kick for the Spy Pawners, he's been an outstanding center back for the Spy Pawners so far this year. Oh, taken away off the kick, Diaz Tijanera, but the Spy Pawners win it back. Zeke Burden sent it to Jan Pilya. Pilya over to the far side, Deshaun Vignac is there. Vignac tries to send it to Olstead, but it's taken away by the Sachems, looking to charge back the other way. Barnabas Kiss a little bit aggressive on that play. He's going to be assessed for it. But, we like the drive there by by Barnabas Kiss. Applying some heat physically, but, with the COVID rules implemented, you're not going to be able to do that too much. So, a freebie from Winchester. They got a lot of guys in the box there on that far right side. Could expect a far kick there. Trying to get it to the 10 there, right on the far side. And waiting there is number 7, Diego Diaz Tijanera, who would be looking to take a shot. But they got Pilya back there matched up against him. Pilya's very good at containing the ball off a sky-high kick. But it's sent into the middle, actually. Oh, and too physical there by John Blumsack. Takes down Tate Cochin, but he's going to be assessed for that one. And referee blows the whistle. I think he's going to force him to give Widrick some room there. Widrick sends it all the way down to Toby Witkowski. Witkowski tries to send it in the middle to Sheehan, but Zeke Burden's there to take it instead. O'Rourke was battling for it. Play's called dead. And Arlington's going to get a freebie here. Dangerous spot. Looking to possibly not put that final nail in the dagger, but put one of the final nails in the dagger if they're able to get one here, go up 3-0 in the third quarter. But you can never count out the Sachems with the Spy Pawners looking to make those odds of winning even greater. Burden chips to Witkowski. Oh, he takes a shot, save, rebound, they score! Aiden Sheehan gets his first goal of the year, and the Spy Pawners go up 3-0. The rebound was unable to be controlled there by number 1, Brendan Ross. I believe that's Brendan Ross in that. I could have sworn it was somebody else last week, but it seems that Brendan Ross is in net for the Winchester Sachems there. And has trouble controlling the rebound. Spy Pawners net it, they're up 3-0. And now if you're the Sachems, you really need to score. Time is not really an option anymore when you're down 3. You gotta apply the heat like you're playing for your lives here, which the Sachems may be, because this is a huge game in contention for the division title. The Spy Pawners could possibly pass the Winchester Sachems in the standings if they can get the W here today. Up 3-0 with 14:01 left in the third quarter. Ref's going to delay the play a little bit. Having a conversation with their number 24, Dylan Ross. Very stern conversation. I don't know what this might be about, but maybe something was said down on the field. But either way, Winchester's going to have a freebie. from the 25-yard line. Ross decides not to send it in. He tries to take it in himself. Crosses it into the middle. Diaz-Tijonero was there, but unable to get a foot on it. Now it's taken back to the outside. Zeke Burden tries to clear out. Ball still in the box. And Winchester again gets too physical, and they're going to be assessed there. Nice job by Arlington to not freak out when the ball's in your box. They stay cool, calm, and collected. They don't take a stupid penalty, and they force Winchester to actually take the penalty instead. But now they're going to try and go fast back the other way. Alexander Bowers with the inbound kick for the station. They're going to try and do the same thing they did before. Sends it to Dylan Ross. He elects to send it in this time. Diaz-Tijonero with some room there on the far side. Nishad Vignac thought it may have been offside. Refs don't think so. Ball sent back. Winchester tries to play possession game from the 25-yard line. Nice takeaway there by Nishad Vignac on the far side, but heavily pressured there by Sachem's. They got to get a shot on net, though, but they're unable to do so. Nice clear by Tate Kochian. But Winchester looks to keep the play alive. O'Rourke with some heat, trying to apply some pressure there and send the ball back the other way. Nice takeaway by Pilly in the middle. Back to O'Rourke. He has Witzkowski on his left. O'Rourke fakes the shot. Now he takes a real shot, and it's directed away. Nice defensive lockdown there by number 13, Max Durand Morris, the junior for this Winchester Sachem squad. But O'Rourke looking to get another one there, but unable to do so. Nice defensive lockdown. Winchester still keeps hope alive as they're down 3 now. O'Rourke gets it back in his box, and he tries to send it into the middle, but again contained there by the defense. It's going to be a goal kick. But, like before, I was saying that, Winchester, when you're down 2-0, you have time, and you have 1.5, 2 quarters to play. But now you're down 3, so there's not really any time to be messing around here. You got to be applying that pressure, really taking some risks here to get back into this one early. If you can get one, then maybe that's a momentum swing, and they can string a couple together. But you got to get one to start that movement, I should say. And, for the Winchester Sachems, they should aim to have at least one before the end of the third quarter. But the Spy Pounders doing an outstanding job containing the Winchester Sachems so far here today. A team who was hyped up to have an outstanding offense, which they do, but the Spy Pounders really just dominating on defense here today and last week. And the question is, could they hold the Sachems to 2 straight shutouts? Woodrick's been outstanding, the back line has been outstanding, and Arlington's been making a real push to win this division after a somewhat shaky start, but they had a tough schedule taking on Winchester there with their second series of games, taking a tie and a loss in that series, which was tough for the Spy Pounders. So they know they have no time to mess around when chasing this division title as they lead the Sachems 3-0 here today. Now the referee, it's actually going to be Winchester ball. They're going to look to just go back the other way. I don't know what that was. The referee decided it was Winchester ball halfway through. Now Winchester got a rush in numbers, but it's nicely contained by Tate Kochi. No problem there. And the Sachems now going to look to go back the other way. They got to net a goal here. Try and get back in this one. Nice containment there by the Sachems playing the possession game. Referee calls the play dead. And it's going to be an Arlington ball. I don't know. Maybe a handball, I think. But now Toby Witzkowski is going to take the freebie for the Spy Pounders. So 9 minutes, 15 seconds remaining here in the contest. The Sachems down 3-0. The Spy Pounders have had an outstanding game here so far. Looking at back-to-back wins against Winchester. Sweep the season series. That's what they're looking to do. But nice play there by Tate Kochi and sends it sky high. And it's caught there by Brendan Ross. Now Winchester goes back the other way. O'Rourke looking to hunt him down. Oh, and he almost gets it there, but the Sachems. Oh, now taken away by Witzkowski in the middle. He holds on to it, looking to go to Olstead. Olstead's still looking for his hat trick here today. Now Sheehan gets it back. Sheehan sends it over to Zeke Burden. Zeke Burden back in the middle to Aiden Sheehan. He looks to get it there. Tried to get cleared out there by Winchester, but nice play by Zeke Burden. Keeps the play alive. Vignac to Burden. To Olstead. Oh, nope. To O'Rourke, but it got cleared out. Olstead was looking for it there on the right side, but Zeke and him have had a connection so far today. Zeke with 2 assists, both to Olstead, and then Olstead with the 2 goals there in the first quarter. So, looking to get his 3rd here today, but hasn't done it yet. Winchester now regains possession in the midfield. Nice play by Zeke Burden to apply pressure and take that one away, but now the Winchester Sachems charge back the other way. Tade Cochin clears that one back to about the 45. Nice takeaway by Toby Witzkowski. Now he has room. They're giving him room there on that far side. And it's going to be Arlington ball. Toby Witzkowski going to take the kick inbounds for the Spy Ponders. Sends it into Sheehan, back to Witzkowski. Sends it over to Pilya. Pilya looks for Olstead there on the far side. He gets it through, but I think it's a little bit too much. Nice idea there, though, by Pilya. Both goals by Olstead were on that far side today. So, looking to get a 3rd one there for him today, but it's just a little bit there too much. Sachem's now going to have an inbound kick from their own end, deep in their own end. They're going to look to clear this one out pretty fast. Nice pressure there by Olstead, tries to send it into the box. O'Rourke was chasing after it, and now it's given away in the midfield again. Arlington has been absolutely dominating the midfield today. No question about that. They've been winning balls left and right in the midfield. Winchester Sachem's had a real problem trying to do that, but now they're looking to charge back the other way. Diaz Tijanera, back to the point, back to Diaz Tijanera. Sent up to the far side. Ben Von Hale is there to get it. He tries to send it into the middle to D. Oliveira, but again the Arlington defense stepping up. Now sends it into Noah Sweeter. Sweeter with a burst of speed. He has plenty of room. Tries to send it to Wiskowski. O'Rourke wins it back, and he looks for somebody on the far right side, but nobody was there. Yeah, Olstead was all the way back in his own end trying to play defense. He had a tough time running all the way back, but another good sequence of plays there by Arlington in the midfield. Winning balls left and right in the midfield. Pilya and Zeke Burden have been dominating that midfield so far here today. They've just been playing the possession game perfectly in the midfield, really setting up a lot of opportunities, and that's what a midfielder is for, not only to control the field in the middle, but contribute both offensively and defensively. Sweeter gets tripped up a little bit there. I think he tried to sell it a little bit, but referees didn't buy in. And now the Sachem's going to have an opportunity going back the other way. Ben Von Hale has it up there on the left side. Von Hale tries to send it in the middle, but Zeke Burden again to gobble that one up. And now Barnabas Kiss sends it out to the far side. Winchester's going to have to regroup, but no mercy. Arlington reapplying pressure once again, trying to wear down the Sachems, and now Anand Olstead takes it away. He's looking for O'Rourke. O'Rourke has Witzkowski on his left. Looks for Witzkowski there on the far side. He's going to have to run for it in the corner. And the play's called dead. It's going to be a goal kick. Brendan Ross will take the goal kick now. He elects to roll it out to the left side. Now taken away by Olstead again. The Sachems have just had an extremely tough time trying to get the ball out of their own end. Whether it's on a goal kick or not, Arlington seems to just intercept that in the midfield every time. And they've been doing an outstanding job with that so far today. Pilya tries to send it in. He's got Sweeter running through. Oh, and a nice step up there by Brendan Ross. But Sweeter was chasing that one. Looking at the 4th goal for the Spy Ponders here today. And again, it's taken away by Pilya in the midfield. non-stop by the Spy Ponders. O'Rourke makes a beautiful move, still has it on that far side and it's blocked. Gets taken down in the box with no call. Now Winchester looks to clear all the way out, but again, Arlington dominates the midfield, but I think it was a handball because it hit him off the elbow, but the Sachems going to get a freebie from their own end. They got to do something if they want to get back into this one, unless if they're going to try and pull a miracle off and net 3 straight in the fourth quarter, which could happen. You never know. Anything can happen in sports, so never assure it's over until it's over, which is what I always say. And now with some room there on the far side. Oh, and it goes out of bounds. Nice step up by Widrick, applying pressure on that one. And now it's going to be a corner kick. I think Widrick may have gotten a piece on that one. Eric Widrick has been outstanding so far this year. And it's lucky for the Spy Ponders. They're going to get to have him not only this year, but then once again next year, as he's only a junior. You've seen him play in the midfield. Now Noah Sweeter, he has O'Rourke with plenty of room. The Winchester Sachems trying to play it. Some offense back the other way, but O'Rourke makes a nice move. Tries to take a shot, but it goes off the outside of the net. O'Rourke's been teasing so far today. He's been getting a lot of opportunities, but hasn't netted a goal yet. Zeke Burden goes to the bench to take a rest. And I think, coming in for the Spy Ponders, I think that's Elliot Johnson. Nope. That's Gus Cathan. His first shift of the year, I believe. He's only a sophomore. But Gus enters the game for his first shift of the year. They're going to look to try out some new guys, give Zeke Burden a break. But now the Sachems pushing back the other way. They're not giving up on it yet. Diaz Tijanera tries to make a move, send in the middle. Oh, a block! Nice block there by Gus. Gus Cathan got the nice block there in front. Good first play in his first shift. And I don't know what's happening now. Referee threw up the X. Now he's going to run to the bench. What's going on? He's going to go have a discussion with Vinny Musto on the sidelines. I don't know. Oh, okay, looks like they're done now, but I don't know what that was about. I didn't see anything happen that was, out of the ordinary, but Winchester's going to get a free kick, or a corner kick, I should say. And Spy Ponders now lead 3-0. We're in stoppage time of the third quarter, but I think that's Evan Lee looking to come in for a substitution after this, but the Sachems, they almost have to net one here if they want to try and get back into this one, but it's contained nicely there by Jan Pilja, who has been outstanding this year on defense. Last year, he was more of a striker role, but now he's moved into transition into more of a midfielder. Either that or he's just been having that push and drive to really get back on the defensive end. He's been doing a lot defensively for the Spy Ponders this year, as well as having a goal for them in that game against Woburn earlier in the year. So Pilja really an all-around outstanding player. He's really developed, especially off of last year. He was outstanding last year as well, starter as a junior, but really just playing great this game. Oh, it's deflected in front. Dangerous opportunity there. Widrick was heavily pressured by number 9, John Blumsack, by the Sachems, but sent out of bounds. Nice play by Cade Kochian to clear that one out. And they're going to let the sub come in. Olstead goes out. Evan Lee comes in. Olstead gets a well-deserved break. He's been incredible so far today. Probably the MVP for the Spy Ponders. But, everybody just really stepping up individually. But now the Sachems look to go back the other way. It's cleared out. Nishad Vignac with another nice play. He's been playing one of his best games of the year as well. And this is what we were talking about last week. Everybody individually on the Spy Ponders made an extremely great effort last week. And we're all making plays individually, and not only as a team, but really individually just shining and playing some of their best games of the year. And they did that again this week. Ball sent it in the middle and a nice play by Tate coaching. And that's it for the third quarter. Back to what I was saying earlier. The Spy Pounders last week really shined off of, everything that they did in the game individually. Everybody was just making outstanding individual efforts. And, the Spy Pounders obviously playing an outstanding game last week and an even better game this week in what was possibly the Spy Pounders' best game of the year last year. But the Sachems, you can never count them out. They still have 20 minutes to play, down 3-0, but the Spy Pounders really look to have this thing in the bag at this point if they can just hold on and keep Winchester from scoring 3 goals. And if Woodrick's able to not let in another one here today, he will have his second shutout in a row. Not only the second win for the Arlington Spy Pounders in a row, but the second shutout in a row for Woodrick. And that would mean that he hasn't allowed a goal so far in 7 quarters of play. All 4 quarters last game against the Sachems, and then this game throughout the 3 quarters. Woodrick has been perfect. So now we are here going into the 4th quarter. Spy Pounders lead by 3. Nice goals by Anand Olstad earlier in the contest, as well as Aiden Sheehan racking up his first goal of the year as well, to give the Spy Pounders a 3-0 lead. And really, I know I've said this before, but last game, after we thought, the Spy Pounders played one of their possibly best games against an extremely tough team in the Winchester Sachems, but today they've topped their performance from last week with very high expectations coming into this game to get that win. It's really going to put Winchester on the brink coming into this final stretch of the season with only 4 games remaining after this one. It's going to put pressure on the Sachems to really, get some wins here in these next 4 games. And I don't know. I think they might still have to play Lexington. And if that's the case, it's going to be tough for the Sachems, but the division title is wide open right now. Obviously this year we don't have any playoffs, so whoever walks out with first place in the division gets it all. They won. So every game this season matters. We've been saying this from the start. Stakes are high. Every single game, whether it's 1 point, 2 points, win-loss tie, every game matters. So obviously Arlington wanted to get the W here today. It's second W in a row against Winchester if they're able to hold them off here in this 4th quarter, but the Sachems are going to try and do everything they can to get back into it. Taken away there, O'Rourke looking to try and put that final nail in the coffin. Sweeter's there as well, sends it outside to O'Rourke, and they're going to call the play dead. I think it might have been an offside. But now the Sachems will have a freebie from their own 15-yard line. They're going to play possession game once again, trying to work their way out from their own end, but Arlington's defense has been reading that like a book all day today here so far, so Winchester going to have to do something dynamic to try and get back into this one, and I think that was Jan Pilya getting assessed with that one. Winchester going to try and waste no time. Dylan Ross sends it to Max Duran Morris, who tries to send it in the middle, and again assessed with a penalty there. Number 12, Max Wasserman takes a fall. And the Winchester Sachems going to look to put one in the back of the net here, as we have 18 minutes, 41 seconds remaining in the contest. Winchester down 3, Arlington with 3 goals in this contest to lead 3-0. And they call the play dead again. I think they're going to make him redo it a little bit too fast on that one. Diego Diaz Tijanera sends it out. That's Shen now in the back end, looking to attack from that left side once again. Taken down to the box, no call on the play. Arlington played it pretty clean, but he did go down, but no call. But the Winchester Sachems have really been trying to attack that left side when they were going this way on the field. Now it's crossed into the middle. I'll get back to that point after, but Tate Coaching makes a nice play. Tries to clear it out. Sweeter gets a touch on it. And a nice play by Noah Sweeter gets it out to Evan Lee, and now the Spy Pond is going to stretch back the other way. Ryan O'Rourke gets around the defender. He has some room. Oh, and it barely goes out of bounds. And yes, they're going to give it to Winchester, but the Spy Ponders have been shutting down the Winchester Sachems so far from that left side. Like I was saying, you know, the Sachems have really been trying to attack that left side. They haven't really given up on it, which I'm kind of surprised after all the shutdowns there by Arlington. But they're staying persistent. They're trying to stay with it, but it's not working for them so far, as the Shah Vignac has been unstoppable on that far side, as well as the midfielders and forwards even getting back to make that effort to make the stop on that play. Now Witzkowski with possession. He's going to try and send it into the middle, but it goes off Pilyu's back. Toby Witzkowski tries to keep it alive, but the ball's going to roll all the way back to the other end. And it's going to be an Arlington kick-in. The Shah Vignac will take it. He sends it to Barnabas Kiss. And Arlington's going to do it again. And now in comes the sub. Aiden Sheehan's going to come in, and Noah Sweeter will go out. Outstanding game so far by Noah Sweeter. He's really been hustling all around the field so far today, and that's what he's known for. We call him a spark plug in Arlington because he's just been very dynamic whenever he comes into the game. Now Barnabas Kiss sends it into the box. Contained there by Winchester. O'Rourke tries to send it into the middle, but now Aiden Sheehan takes it away in front. Spy Ponders still applying pressure. Evan Lee tries to get it there, but a little bit frustrated with himself as he's not able to get it. But Evan Lee has really proven to be a threat on offense, and again, they're going to get called back for this. They're rushing the play. You know, obviously Winchester wants to be fast, and you know, they don't have time to lose here, but referee's telling him he's got to wait for his whistle. Now Shen takes it back. Dylan Ross has possession in the middle. Nice step up by Tate Kochian. Now it's going to go to Aiden Sheehan there on the far side. Sheehan makes a nice move, holds on to possession, tries to send it up, blocked by Dylan Ross, and it goes out of bounds. Arlington's going to have the kick in. But anyway, back to Evan Lee, who has really proven to be a threat for this Arlington Spy Ponders team offensively coming off the bench. He's been outstanding, and he's proven to be very, very fast. So the Spy Ponders really have been using him a lot. Now it's crossed in the middle, looking for Evan Lee on that far right side. Oh, and he tries to keep the play alive, barely goes out. Nice pressure there by Brian Shen. Now Winchester looks to clear it out of their own end. DSC Hanera sends it to Jonathan D. Oliveira. He tries to send it up to William McGeehan, but it goes out of bounds. 14 minutes, 12 seconds left here. Spy Ponders lead by 3. Really, after coming into this game saying that last game was the best game the Spy Ponders have played all year, I think we've been proven to see that this has been the best game they've played all year, just topping their performance from last week. Shutting down an outstanding team in the Sachems, but Winchester still has time. They're going to try and make something happen here with only 13 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the game. They're going to need 3. And the Spy Ponders obviously have done an outstanding job containing Winchester defensively so far here today. Now some subs made. In comes Anand Olstead as well as Zeke Burden. Good shifts there by both Gus Cathan and Toby Witzkowski, who will take a break. That was the first time we saw Gus all year today. He had that great block on the defensive side of things. Definitely some promise for the Spy Ponders in the future in that midfield with Gus coming up. And it's sent out of bounds. And Arlington will regain possession once again. So Nishar Vignac will take the kick in for the Spy Ponders, sends it to Barnabas Kiss. Ball goes through the midfield. Ryan O'Rourke is there to make a nice move. Now he sees Olstead there on the far side. Olstead patient with it, sends it to Lee. Lee back to Barrientos. Barrientos looks to cross it into the middle. Sheehan's there. Sheehan has some room, tries to take a shot. It's blocked in front. Arlington looking to pressure and regain possession there, but Winchester looks to take it out of their own end. Ball goes out of bounds, and subs come in. It will be a Winchester kick-in. Winchester does a handful of subs. Vinny Musto looking to turn things around here for the Winchester Sachems as they're down 3. There's only 11 minutes, 51 seconds left now, but you can't count out the Sachems until the game's over. Nice clear out by Barnabas Kiss. Looking for O'Rourke once again up on that far side. Winchester regains possession. Nice play by Evan Lee. Tries to keep the play alive. But it goes out of bounds. So next week, the Spy Ponders will be back at home against Belmont High, the team that they lost to in the playoffs last year. A playoff rematch for the ages. Two rivals here in the Massachusetts area between the Belmont the Belmont High School. Oh, it's taken out of bounds, so I thought that was a penalty, but it wasn't. But the Belmont High School and then Arlington High, two huge rivals between the Marauders and the Spy Ponders. So two big games for the Spy Ponders coming into next week, as they will go against Belmont in back-to-back contests. They're back at home next week, and then we'll be on the road the week after. Now it's taken into the middle. Oh, and Adrian Thomas is in the game. We saw a little bit of him last game. Or no, excuse me, against Lexington the week before on senior night. He looks really good. He was very fast up there, and now he's looking for a ball from Evan Lee. Lee sends it over to Pilia on that far side. Back to Olstead. Olstead makes a nice move. He's known for those, especially his junior year. He was making plenty of jukes in that midfield, but makes a nice move there. And now he wins the ball back. Nice job. Plays it safe. Uh-oh. Two players run into each other, but Tate Coachin's there to make up for it. Get the ball back. Zeke Burden now looking for Olstead on the far side. Nice loft pass there by Zeke Burden. Now Olstead going to look to pressure it, but Shen was there, and it will be a Winchester ball. Sachems now send it up back the other way, and it's sent out of bounds again, and subs come in. Arlington going to shift in some of the substitutes here today for a little bit of action here. Adam Wasco, a senior for the Spy Ponders, works his way into the game. So Spy Ponders going to give some players a rest. As they look to possibly have this thing in the bag, up 3 with 8 minutes left. Assessed a penalty there. Now it goes back to the point and whistle. Referee's being a little bit strict today. They got to follow the whistle of the referee, so calling back a lot of shots here. He's not taking anything from these guys here today, but doing a good job of implementing the rules. Now Nishar Vignac double team there, but somehow wins the ball back, and it's sent all the way up to that far right side. And now Olstead looking for it. And goes off the flag. It almost stayed in. And it will be a Winchester freebie. Now coming into the game, some more substitutions. Ben Dietz going to work his way into the contest. Barnabas Kiss gets a rest. And then Massimo also coming in. Massimo Delarusso. He's going to come into the game and start up front. Now Wasco tries to hit it there, but Sachems are called back with a penalty. And then when we look ahead to the Winchester Sachem schedule, yes, I was right. They haven't played Lexington yet this year. They match up against Woburn in their next two games. On the road next week, but then at Woburn the week or here back in Winchester the week after, and then they have a date with the Lexington Minutemen in the final two games of the season. So two huge wins here for the Spy Pawners, if they can come out with this one, I should say. It's not over till it's over, but it's looking like the two huge wins here for the Spy Pawners, as the Winchester Sachems will now have to go up against the tough, ever so tough Woburn squad, who the Spy Pawners won against once and then tied against once. And then also the ever so tough Lexington Minutemen. Ball sent in, and place call's dead. I thought for a sec that they would call that one back, but play is called dead, and now a goal kick for Lexington. Oh, for Winchester. What am I saying? Lexington. Winchester is playing Lexington in the final two games of the season, however. But the Spy Pawners have already matched up against Lexington, taking one tie and one loss. So it's going to be interesting in this final stretch here to see who can come out with the division title. Arlington has just possibly secured itself as one of the favorites now if they can come out with a win here today. Two back-to-back wins against a very tough team in Winchester, but the Sachems not giving up, applying some pressure there in the offensive zone. But Arlington tries to contain it. Taken back. Nice block there by Tate Cochin. He sends it over. Adrian Thomas trying to apply some pressure. Now Adam Wasco on the outside. Wasco with a nice block. Wins the ball there. Still applying pressure. And the Sachems will get a freebie for about the 15-yard line. Is this the opportunity the Sachems need to begin this miracle that they're going to need to come back in this one? They're down 4 minutes, 53 seconds left. I don't want to guarantee it, but I should say that if they don't score on this one, it's pretty bleak for the Sachems. So big play here as they're going to look to start the miracle run and try and work their way back into this one. Great opportunity from the 15 with that freebie. Sent in, grabs by Woodrick. And now he's going to go fast back the other way. Nice job by Woodrick, not wasting any time. Olstead breaks out with plenty of speed there on the right side. Contested there by Lucas Gagne. Ball is sent out of bounds. And it will be an Arlington ball. Some more substitutions now for the Spy Pawners coming back in. That's number 23, Andrew Clossy, a junior. He's working his way into the game. We've seen him a couple times so far this year, but not too much. He's going to look to make an impact here in the final few minutes. Now sent into the middle. Jan Pilya takes a shot into the middle. Oh, and he tries to get it to Adrian Thomas. He had an opportunity there. Takes the shot out of midair, but a little bit too much. Makes the field goal, but not the goal that they were looking for. Now with 3 minutes, 27 seconds left, I think it's safe enough to say that the Spy Pawners have this one in the bag. An outstanding game by both teams, but the Spy Pawners just really ran away with it after that first 10 minutes in the first quarter. Anon Olstead just bringing the heat here today in Winchester on this freezing cold day. We have snow around us in October, but Olstead brought the heat, netting 2 goals, and I think he is being considered for the MVP It's taken in the middle. Chipped out there. Looking for Olstead on the far side. Olstead's going to look for a hat trick so far today, but he's called back. I don't know what that was. I thought it was a little bit of contact on Winchester's side of things, but they're actually going to assess Olstead for it instead. Olstead is not happy about that at all. But either way, it's going to be Winchester ball back the other way. Chipped into the middle. Nice block by Vignac. And now Winchester looks to set up. Nice takeaway by Sheehan. Sends it up to Massimo. Massimo gets it to Adrian Thomas, who's breaking out there on the far side. Back to Massimo in the middle. He takes it outside. Winchester tries to take it away. Massimo wins it back. He still has it there on the far side, and now Winchester's forced to kick it out of bounds. Nice stretch there by the junior, Massimo Della Russo. And obviously he has the size there up front. Good, has a good foot taller than everybody else on the Winchester back end, so a physical presence there up front for the Spy Ponders on the front end. As they get the inbound kick, Pilya sends it to Aiden Sheehan. Sheehan has space in the middle. He tries to take a shot inside, and it's sent outside, wide of the net. So we are in stoppage time here in this rivalry matchup between the Winchester Sachems and the Arlington Spy Ponders. It's looking like the Spy Ponders are going to come out with this with the win. But my name is Nick Antonakis. I am from ACMI, Arlington Community Media Inc. And a huge thank you to WinCam here in Winchester for not only running this production on this early Sunday morning, but also allowing me to be here and commentate here today. I appreciate it very much from WinCam, and I'm very lucky to be here today. It's called the action for everybody watching at home. So 2 minutes left in the contest. Winchester's going to get a freebie. It's taken there on the outside. They're going to look to center the pass. Nice chip out there by Arlington. And it's going to be a Winchester inbound kick as we near the end. So like I said, next week the Spy Ponders are back at home against the Belmont Marauders. The rivalry matchup we're all going to be anticipating there. A playoff matchup from last year. The Spy Ponders looking to get revenge on the Marauders from last year's heartbreaker in the playoffs. But the Winchester Sachems next week will travel to Woburn. It's face off against the Woburn Tanners, and that's it. 3-0 win for the Spy Ponders on a game where they had very high expectations going into last week's game, where they had possibly their best game of the year so far. They topped the performance here today on the road in Winchester. Anon Olstead nets 2. Sheehan nets his first of the year. Spy Ponders win it 3-0. And that's the contest. The Spy Ponders now improve their record to 3 wins, 1 loss, and 2 ties on the year. And the Sachems suffered their 2nd loss in a row now with 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. So the Spy Ponders get the clutch victory here today, past the Sachems in the standings. It's going to be a race to the finish here for the division title as we near the end of the season. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you again to WinCam and ACMI for setting this up here, this production here today. From ACMI Sports and WinCam, my name is Nick Antonakis, and I will see you back here next week for the Arlington Spy Ponders matchup. And again, thank you to Winchester and WinCam once again. Good luck to them next week against the Tanners. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.